thankful for giving me.
Yeah, please proceed now.
Good evening, everybody. I'm very much thankful for giving an opportunity to share my experience in production and marketing of micronutrient fertilizers among you all. I have done my MSc in agriculture marketing management at TNAU Coimbatore by 1994. After that, for about 10 years, I worked as Tamilnadu zonal head in a micronutrient based company. By 2006, we started our own micronutrient manufacturing unit called Rini Agro Chemicals, where we focused on manufacturing quality and crop specific micronutrient mixtures for crops like coconut, banana, vegetable, sugarcane, paddy, cardamom, etc. We are manufacturing basal micronutrient fertilizers that has to be applied in the soil and spray products and also drip fertilizers among these micronutrient products and liquid micronutrient products also. We have established a lab where we are testing the quality of all the raw materials that are coming inside, and also we are testing every lot of the micronutrient mixture fertilizers that we are manufacturing here. Only if the purity of the raw materials are standard, then only we will use them for the production. At the same time, only if the test reports of the micronutrient mixtures that we are manufacturing are as per government standards and notifications, not only we will be using that for the dispatches. We are very careful in testing the raw material as well as the produce for the high standards of quality. We purchase the raw materials in bulk from different places of the country. We all know that each and every crop requires 16 essential elements for the healthy growth and the best yield for getting in any crop. Out of these, four elements, namely carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and chlorine, they are available from the nature like air and water. That we need not to be worried about. And the major nutrients come like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash. And secondary nutrients are calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. And micronutrients are ferrous, zinc, copper, manganese, boron, and molybdenum. All these 12 nutrients are available from the soil for the crop. These 12 nutrients are very, very essential for the plant growth and yield. It is required in certain proportion to the crop. If any one of the nutrients are not available to the crop, the yield and quality of the crop gets declined as per the importance of the deficient nutrients. Whether it is major nutrients like nitrogen or micronutrients like zinc, boron, anything if it is deficient, the crop will the yield and the quality of the crop will be reduced. For example, in paddy, if zinc is less, we can see more of barren, all these sapped produce. Likewise, if zinc is very less in coconut, we can see hollowed nuts like that. So if zinc is less in turmeric or ginger, we can see the weight of the produce will get reduced. So whether it is a secondary element like calcium or magnesium or sulfur or macronutrients like NPK or micronutrients, whatever a single element, if it is reduced for the plant availability, then the crop and the yield will be declined. All these 12 nutrients are equally important to complete the life cycle of the crop. For example, if boron is not available, we can see nut dropping in coconut or any other fruit bearing, we can see lot of fruit dropping will be there. So each and every element, these micronutrients are required in very small quantities. Likewise, these major nutrients are required in higher quantities. These micronutrients are required very very less. Like we use salt in our food, very small quantity of salt we are using. But if the salt is not there, then our intake will be affected. Food intake will be affected. Like that only, these micronutrients are very important for the uptake of other nutrients, and also for completing the metabolism of the crop, as well as the completing the life cycles. For example, if calcium is not available to the crop, we can see a lot of rotting in any of the agriculture crops. Rotting, then stem bleeding, etc. We can see, and a lot of disease incidents will be there if calcium and potassium are not available to the crop. So during earlier, we are focusing on balanced plant nutrition and also complete crop care, and we are giving a lot of advices, and we are helping educating the farmers to take the yield in the balanced, by applying the balanced plant nutrition. Because unless we use the balanced plant nutrition, we will be spoiling the soil's health, as well as the productivity of the soil will be destroyed. For example, if a soil is having lot of potassium, and we are again applying like a huge amount of potash, then it will the same element potash, which is important for increasing the weight of the crop, that will become toxic to the crop, and it will give another ill effects to the soil as well as the crop. So we have to be very careful while applying the fertilizer doses, whether it is NPK or secondary or micronutrients. During our earlier days, farmers used to cultivate local varieties and will also leave the field for rest for at least 3 to 4 months. At this period, these 3 4 months, they won't do any cultivation, and the soil has enough time to rejuvenate, and hence the nutritional statuses were good, and taste and quality of the crop that we are producing will be good. But nowadays, after green revolution, farmers are going for high yielding varieties and hybrids that require higher quantities of all these nutrients. Also, not no resting period is allowed. So the soil gets depleted with all the nutrients. Hence, it is very essential to give a balanced dose of all the nutrients in the right period at the right quantity. Balanced dose of NPK, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, and micronutrients has to be given to the crop at specific doses, and also based on the soil type. The soil, if it is alkaline, we have to be very careful, and if it is acidic, we have to be very careful. And based on this soil type, we have to give recommendation of all these nutrients. Here comes the role of agri professionals to educate the farmers on balanced plant nutrition and to give a complete crop care to attain maximum yield at the optimum cost of production. We have a team of well trained field officers at various areas to give extension services to the farmers, and we have dealers and distributors in these areas who procure our products and do the business in various parts of Tamil Nadu. Based on the field work inquiry, farmer satisfaction, we have developed marketing of our products. Initially, we struggled a lot to market our products due to the competitors who were in the market for longer periods. As time went, farmers who used our products got satisfied with the quality of our products and higher yields than using any other company's micronutrients. This is how our marketing activity got strengthened and expanded. Our products are, we have the brand as Rini. That is the name of the brand of micronutrients that we are. That Renitone is for basal micronutrients for coconut, banana, sugarcane, paddy, and vegetables. Likewise, we have spray powder micronutrient form that is called as Shivnal, and we have liquid micronutrients called as Rigimel, and we have 5 liter cans of drip micronutrient fertilizers called as Driptone. The percentages that we add in this is as per the government notification in different states. We have a team of 3 members who are looking mainly on technical 1%, marketing 1%, and my finance 1%, because we need a group of team or group of people. To a company means it is a group of people. We three are heading these 3 departments, and also our hard work, honesty, quality of the are the reasons for us to withstand the higher challenging and competitive market. Initially, we took rental place for a lab, processing and stocking, etc. By 2012-13, we purchased our own land and constructed our building, office, and laboratory at our own premises. Actually, we are manufacturing. We have a lot of people with us. Advantage in our development, we have a lot of people like work laborers in the factory, and the staff who are working in the field. They are all the supported us in this long journey. And what are the advantages in our entrepreneurial activity are that when the farmers get satisfied and happy about our services, we feel a sense of job satisfaction. Though this is a extension work is very hard to work in the sunlight, in the rainfall, etc. But after once we see the farmer's face is happy with the results of the products, we got that satisfaction. We can able to help the farmers. We are able to help the farmers to get qualitative and quantitative yield by means of a scientific way. The incidence of pests and diseases gets reduced due to the healthy crop condition. Then the cost benefit ratio is high. The benefit is high compared to the cost due to the balanced plant nutrition, because we are telling the farmers to test the soil, and based on the soil test reports, we are advising them to use the fertilizers, including micronutrients. The soil health and productivity gets improved. If we are dumping the fertilizers or nutrients blindly, then the soil health gets spoiled and the productivity of the soil also gets spoiled. But we are not doing that. We are giving a scientific way of approach to the farmers to help them to get the yield and quality. We are able to give employment to people directly and indirectly to in various areas. These are the advantages of doing this business entrepreneurial activity. And disadvantages or the cons that we can see is you have to be very vigilant in the market regarding the competition, prices, and some of the people may not be paying you in time, or some of them may not be paying you at all. We cannot take a force them or take any legal action on them. This is one main disadvantage. And change of the government policies can affect our activities. For example, now the GST has come for so many years. Earlier it was not there. So what is the problem is that it's good, but at the same time, if we are not receiving the payment in time, we have to pay the GST to the government in time. That is a great burden. So change in the government policies can affect our activities. Then adverse climatic conditions can affect our business. For example, very severe drought. In the severe drought, we cannot advise the farmer to apply the fertilizers or micronutrients. At the same time, heavy rainfall times are also sometimes will be there where we will not get any business. Even though we don't get any business, we have to pay all our staffs, laborers, etc. Without fail. That is also a great risk for us. Then rate of the raw materials um, are not uncertain, like the boron prices hike like anything, the manganese prices rise suddenly, but we have to pay, but we cannot change the maximum retail price MRP suddenly, because the farmers will be in trouble. So we have to wait for some period to for this rate of the raw materials to get certain. Then marketing expenses nowadays are very, very high. We know that fuel costs are rising every year, and we have to pay them all the petrol expenses, their staying expenses, food, everything. So cost of living is getting higher every day by day. So the marketing expenses are heavy, and hence the net profit gets affected. And we have to find out the suitable staff for different areas, because marketing is a very difficult job. We have to meet a lot of farmers every day, educate them. So suitable staff has to be taken, they have to be given training, and that seems to be difficult nowadays. Then training expenses are heavy in this field, because we are doing scientific way of marketing. We have to train the people accordingly, scientific way, and explain in the scientific way to the farmers, and get yield also in the same manner. So we are giving a complete care from A to Z to the farmers, from soil test to taking a full yield, like pest control, everything. We have to give them the advice. So that training expenses are heavy. However, with all these problems, we are able to survive in the market for the past 17 years, due to our good quality of the product, honesty in the market, and our own teamwork and support of the dealers as well as the farmers. This is the short list of our activities, and I can show you this 16 elements I was telling. This is the concept where we are working.
We can't see your picture.
Yeah, I'll show now.
Okay, now I can see.
Yeah. Essential
Okay.
nutrients required for the plant growth. We can see the top: carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and chlorine. These are required in very high quantities. So say about 90 to 95% of the elements required is got through the nature itself. So we don't have to worry about those four elements: carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and chlorine. Then second one, that is in the blue color, we can see that nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, these are the major elements which are required for any crop in higher quantities. The other one, the red, is the secondary nutrient, that is calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. These are required lesser than the above major nutrients. And the last one is this micronutrients: ferrous, manganese, boron, zinc, copper, and iron. These six elements are classified as micronutrients because they are required in very small quantities, but essential, but equally important, like NPK itself. So any one of these elements, if it is not the is based on the relative quantity and not on the relative importance. All the above 16 nutrients play an important role in the plant growth, whether they require in higher quantities or in very lower quantities. So this is Rini Agrochemicals. This is our production unit, and we have another unit called the Super Agro Inputs, that we are marketing all these products through this Super Agro Inputs. And we have one more unit called Nanda Organics, where we are producing organic products like humic acid, secondary nutrients, and all. So we are at the most we are trying to give quality products from our side to the farmers with scientific advice. This is all about our activity now. And how we, hello, hello.
Yeah, 1 second. I lost voice for a while. 1 second. Yeah.
Am I audible?
Okay. So,
This
yeah.
is some of the deficiency symptoms that we have photo kept in this leaflet. So how to differentiate between the disease and the pest as well as these deficiency symptoms. How we can identify nitrogen deficiency, that is in the lower leaves will be yellowing. Phosphorus deficiency, we can see purplish color and narrow leaves. In the lower leaves, we can see potassium deficiency, we can see V-shaped drying, scorching of the leaves. Like in turmeric, we can see. And for magnesium, we can see only the veins are green, the internal part of the leaves will be yellow. Like that magnesium deficiency, we can see. So the plants exhibit the deficiency symptoms. So we give training to the staff how to identify the deficiency symptoms in the crop, and based on that, we are giving them the recommendations. Like zinc deficiency, we can see crumpling of the leaves in grapes, then hollow nuts in coconut, then shorter internodes in paddy, etc. We can see the shorter internodes in sugarcane. Paddy, you can see chaffy grains, you can see. So these are the symptoms of zinc deficiency. Copper deficiency, you can see the wilt symptoms. More or less, wilt will be there in tomato, papaya, orange, maize, etc. And manganese deficiency, we can see the younger leaves, all the net-like appearance will be there. For molybdenum, you can see the deficiency that the leaf spots will be there, as in grapes. So we go for directly spraying of pesticides, thinking that it is a disease, but base is molybdenum deficiency. So we have to identify between disease as well as the deficiencies. The ferrous deficiency, we can see the yellowing of the top leaves will be there. The total yellowing will be there. There won't be any veins green and all. So we can see this in groundnut. We can see in orange. We can see in sugarcane how the ferrous deficiency is exhibiting. Ferrous, if it is deficient, the plant won't be able to take carbon dioxide intake. Hence, what will happen? The photosynthesis will be affected very much, and hence the yield will be get reduced. The sulfur deficiency, we can see the smell, the flavor of any output that is coming like coconut oil, groundnut, etc., turmeric. If the sulfur is not there, the quality will be deteriorated, will be spoiled. So sulfur is also important. So calcium deficiency, you can see stem bleeding, cracking of the fruits in tomato, grapes, stem bleeding in coconut, etc. We can see because of calcium deficiency. Boron deficiency, we can see the nut setting itself will be low in coconut, arecanut, and dropping will be more. And in grapes, we can see chicks and hens like that. Small berries will be there. So these are some deficiency symptoms we have to identify in different crops. We give training on all these to the staffs, and they approach the farmers and explain them the difference between deficiency symptoms and disease symptoms. So based on that, we give the crop specific, soil specific recommendations, and thus the farmer will be able to get good yield. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay.
So,
Any?
yeah, you're completed?
Yeah, almost.
Okay. Okay, so now I'll quickly take up some questions. Just 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So First question is, what are micronutrients and why are they important for crop growth?
Micronutrients are essential for the crop to complete its life cycle. So likewise, NPK and secondary nutrients like calcium, magnesium, sulfur, micronutrients are required in smaller quantities, but they are very important to complete the life cycle. Without micronutrients, the crop cycle life cycle will not be completed. They are required in minor quantities, not in bigger quantities.
Okay.
So they are required to complete the metabolism of the crop. For example, iron is required for intake of carbon dioxide into the plant, and then they will release the oxygen outside. If ferrous is not there, the respiratory process of the crop will be affected, and we can see total yellowing of the plants. Zinc is required for the uptake of the water metabolism. Whatever the paddy is there, why we are telling that zinc is more important for paddy? Because paddy is a water loving crop. So paddy requires more of zinc than other micronutrients. So boron is required for setting of the flowers, for starting the germination itself. Boron is required. If boron is not there, germination will be affected very much. For example, in sugarcane, if boron is not there, we can see the germination will be poor. And in coconut, arecanut like trees, the button dropping will be more, and also it is required in all stages of the crop. Boron, for example, it is a micronutrient, but it is required in all the stages because it is important for the cell wall formation. Calcium together with boron, they form the cell wall. So if calcium is not there, the cell walls will break and oozing of the liquids will be there. Likewise, if boron is not there, cell walls will crack and the oozing of the oozing from the cells will be there. So the quality will get affected, and we can see lot of drying, this rotting symptoms will be there if boron is not there. And molybdenum and manganese, they are more important for nitrogen utilization. We all apply nitrogen to the plant in different forms. So if manganese is not there, then the nitrogen assimilation is affected. The quality of the product will get affected. If molybdenum is not there, we can see that the enzymes are not formed properly, and we can see a lot of disease attack if molybdenum deficiencies are there. Like we can see this molybdenum deficiency, we can see necrotic spots, and brownish liquid will be powdery mildew in grapes. These are the symptoms that are due to molybdenum deficiency in the crops. And copper, they are required for the sturdiness of the crop. If the copper is not required, like human beings, we need vitamin A for our eyesight. Copper is required for vitamin A synthesis in the plants. If vitamin A is there, then only the plant will be able to stand sturdy. Otherwise, the wilt, all the drooping of the leaves will be seen. So these six nutrients are equally important like the other nutrients in the crop. Because every element has distinct function. The function of the ferrous, it cannot be replaced by boron, and the function of the zinc, the water intake, that cannot be replaced by any other element. So each has its own specific function in the crop. Every element has its own function.
Okay. And can you provide examples of common micronutrients used in agriculture? Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I can hear you now. Next question is, can you provide examples of common micronutrients used in agriculture?
common micronutrients.
Yeah.
That is, individual micronutrients are also used, like zinc sulfate, ferrous sulfate, copper sulfate, manganese sulfate. But we are manufacturing a mixture of all these things: zinc, copper, manganese, iron, boron, and molybdenum. The government has given notifications that this percentage of these elements has to be used for coconut. This proportion of elements has to be used for banana. With that benchmark, we are manufacturing with our own formula, where we are able to supplement all the 6 cell crop in a single. Hello.
Yes.
So
Okay.
micronutrients are equal in very quantity. So if we are applying 15 kilos instead of 5 kilos, or if we are giving 100 ppm instead of 10 ppm, then it is going to give ill effect. Best is to give a mixture of all these elements based on the government specifications, instead of going single micronutrients like ferrous sulfate, zinc sulfate, that only experts can understand whether we can give. The deficiency is up to that mark to go for single nutrient application. Otherwise, it is better to go for multi micronutrient mixtures.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. There seems to be some issue at your end. You're getting disconnected.
Uh,
Okay. So let's see. How do you determine if your soil lacks certain micronutrients?
Based on the symptoms that it is, like I showed you, that we give training to understand the deficiencies of micronutrients. And in some cases, we can soil and also find out. But in each and every cases, we cannot wait for soil test results, because we take the soil samples all the time. And farmer will be in a hurry to grow for the crop, or already he must have sown the crop. So we have to find out the deficiencies, which micronutrient is deficient, and go.
Okay. And what are the benefits of incorporating micronutrients into crop production?
Yeah. Actually, micronutrients in the production means we are giving balanced nutrition to the. We are giving not only NPK fertilizers, calcium, magnesium. So when micro also given, the yield will be increased at least to 25%. We can increase the yield based on the quality of the micronutrients, and the quality will be good. The out produce taste and quality will be good, and yield will be increased. That is one advantage. And second one is the soil productivity. The soil productivity will be increased. And the third one is that crop growth is healthy. Hence, the application of pesticides will be reduced, and therefore the cost benefit will be when compared to that. And we will be able to take the yield even at some adverse situations of the climate, like spraying of the micronutrients during hot summer, where we cannot go for any other application. That will help the crop to overcome the hot weather and at least some yield. Otherwise, yield will not be there. These are the advantages, ma'am.
Okay. And are there any specific crops or regions where micronutrient deficiency are more prevalent? Miss Neela, can you do one thing? Can you just log out and re-log in? You're getting disconnected frequently.
Ask me some question again.
Are there any specific crops or regions where micronutrient deficiency are more prevalent?
Yeah, in coconut you can see nut dropping. Actually, the genetic potential of the crop for coconut is at least 250 nuts per year per tree, normally. In ordinary variety, and in hybrid it will be still more. But if boron is 50% of the yield will be reduced, we will get only 100 nuts. This is the major crop where we can see the micronutrient deficiency. In banana also, the yield potential will be more. Like in G9, it will be around 50 kilos per bunch. But if boron or any other micronutrients are deficient, we can see yield weight of the bunch will be reduced very much. For example, in banana is like, you can see pencil shaped, pen shaped, finger shaped banana.
Hello? Hello? Okay, so next question is, can you, one second. Yeah. What are the different forms in which micronutrients are available for agricultural use?
This powder form is there, which is a mixture of all these things, micronutrients, elements together. Then foliar forms, powder form, then foliar form liquid you can apply through leaves. spraying. Then we can give through irrigation also. These are the three types.
Okay.
Soil application, foliar, and
Okay. And how do you ensure proper application and dosage of micronutrients to avoid overuse or underuse?
yeah, we have the bench government notification. For example, coconut, you have to use this much percentage of zinc, this much percentage of iron, this much percentage of copper, and percentage of manganese to be used. They will give us notification based on their research. That will be the benchmark, and based on that, we will give. It should not be below that. 5% is zinc as per government notification. We should not go beyond 5%.
Okay. And can you explain the role of micronutrients in enhancing crop quality and yield?
Because micronutrients are essential from germination till harvesting. So it is required in all the stages of the crop. When boron is not available, for example, one element, single element, boron is not available while germination, the germination will dead. You can see a lot of failure in germination, and the population will be reduced. So if boron is given during germination period itself, you can get good crop population and more tillering will be there. For example, in a rice, tillering will be there, in sugarcane, tillering will be there, and hence the crop will.
Hello? 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 Miss Neela, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
And yeah,
like
please go ahead.
quality will also get affected if micronutrients are not there, because boron is important the cell wall formation itself. So when cell walls are not properly formed, you can see lot of rotting in the products. So for example, banana, when you see cigar end rot, the end of the fruit will be burnt like a cigarette. Color will be there in the end of the fruit. So that fruit will not be properly marketed. For grapes, you can see lot of rotting fruits. So that will not be affect the quality of the fruit. Will be a product. The product will be affected. So it's very.
Okay. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello. Tell me, ma'am.
Yeah.
You
I'll take up one
got.
last question. Are there any regulations or certification governing the production and marketing of micronutrients?
Any agencies governing? Yeah. Our agriculture department, they are then and there visiting the units, taking samples and testing in their laboratory, doing it. So it has to be as per standards of their nations. Otherwise, they will take action on us. They will give some what the product is not substandard, then we will not be able to do the business, ma'am. Because it comes under fertilizer control order. 1985, it is Essential Act, so we have to be very careful. We have to have a lab is a must for these micronutrient, because whatever raw materials coming inside as well as whatever produce it is going outside of our factory, that has to be, and we have to be very clear that quality is as per the standard. Otherwise,
Okay.
the government will take action on us.
Okay. What marketing strategies are effective for promoting micronutrient products to farmers?
Yeah, we do a lot of extension works. We conduct earlier days, we conduct field meetings, explaining them the importance of micronutrients. It will affect the crop. We will educate them. We will take class to them, making them understand. And through dealers also give them trials in various areas, because seeing is believing. So one plot applied with micronutrients and
Hello. 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 Hello.
uh,
Can you
yes, please.
complete that answer?
Yeah, yeah. Then pamphlets, we will give issue pamphlets. We give trials to the farmers, meetings. We conduct meetings regarding the importance of micronutrients, how they will affect the crop yield and etc. We will give them. These are the activities that we make.
Okay. Okay, Miss Nila Mubarak, there is no more questions. So now we have come to end of question round. On Thank you for attending this meeting. Thank you.